everything's going the way it should. Welcome. I'm Dave with Affordable Door and Gate. I do garage doors. I do business. I do all kinds of things. And we do lives because you know what? They're just kind of fun. And you're more than welcome to ask any questions. If you think of anything, even after the live, you can always comment. A lot of you don't comment after the video. Sometimes they show up like they're really long, and normally they're not that long. Sometimes they show up, they're like 3-6 hours. They're really typically not that long. They're only about an hour or so. So, and then you can always email me at the daveadubson@gmail.com. We're doing a little different setup. We got the thing all rocking and rolling here. I wanted to do a follow-up. I was going to wait to make sure everything's running right. I see Papa Tony's here. All right. What's up, big dog? What's going on, Papa Tony? Do you have anything over the weekend? Any service calls? I got to check on something here in a second. Oh, I'm hoping the one guy that I did the video on today shows up. That would be nice. But for the van, I was hoping I was going to be able to quiz him a little bit. Interesting. So, because I was thinking about it, he's working with a van with a ladder rack. The thing is, I don't know if it's a 3/4 ton. I don't know if it's a minivan. Minivans are a lot easier. But PT is a good one for this because PT works with a trailer, right? I don't even know what kind of trailer. Pop Tony, what kind of trailer do you use when you're hauling behind the minivan for garage doors? Because this gentleman, he messaged me and he was struggling. Let me see if I can find the old comment there. Okay, so this is what he's got. So he says, so I have a rack on top of the van. It's much higher, so it's much higher than a truck. So I'm guessing that's got to be like a 3/4 ton type van. You know what I mean? Like a big, because I can see, man, you put a ladder rack, especially if they're the ones that are like the goalpost. Those puppies get super tall, and that would be a nightmare in my opinion. Much higher than a truck. I have 6 months on the job. Then it says I work for a company that wants me to be able to do it on my own. Let's see. Let's see here. The more experienced guys are able to take down down the whole bundles alone. So probably two sandwiched together, right? Taking a whole bundle off. And if you guys don't mind, if you're cruising through whatever, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. I think we got one on my end. But don't forget to hit the like button. Just helps wake up the algo, brings more like-minded, good people. Then we know you're real too. You're not an alien. More experience, down bundles. It says pretty much asking. Okay, so pretty much asking for two men. Two men lift is out of the question. Out of the question. We don't have a trailer unless I purchase one myself, which I was going to talk about that a little bit. The things I reread had to do with getting on top of the roof and sliding the sections off until they touch the ground. I mean, I guess, right? I mean, I guess, but that sounds like damage, huge damage. So let me follow up through these couple of these comments here, and then I'll see if I can jump into a little bit about that topic there. Uh-oh, here we go. We're going to play around with this silly phone in its comments. All right, might have to go to the other phone. This one likes to be glitchy. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay, what's up, big dog? Kevin says hi. Kevin, what you got going this week? You get your number. I did today. I did 2 today. Just finished them up. Nice. Did you do any lives? I don't know if I did any lives. I didn't get the Batman signal. About 25 under this week. A weekend, 3 jobs. Wow, nice. That's awesome. Kevin's winger it out there. I think Kevin's a moderator. Yeah, he can always delete that too if he wants. Tony's got boat trailer converted into flatbed. I ended up, I thought, I always thought a pontoon boat trailer would work pretty good, but man, I looked up the price. Those things are kind of expensive. I was like, ooh, I was like, they were like 14, $2,300. I was like, yeah, no thanks. But I did do the old, let me see if I can find it here. I did do some searching, and if I can find it, library, check this bad boy out, right? Can I shrink myself so I don't have to turn myself off and go back in? That'd be kind of nice. Oh, I did. I think I did it. I think I done did it. Let's go like this. Anywho, you can kind of see right there. There's a boat trailer. Right, get yourself a boat trailer, $300. No, this one's 200. It's on sale. Right, took a screenshot. Boom, there you go. Throw a couple pieces of dunnage on there. I think I got another one on here. This one's a 3 Hondo. This is a double. Right, that's a double axle. So I think personally, if it was me, and I don't know. I mean, I would like to hear from you guys because I personally think if I had an employee, and I mean, you can look at this as if you're a sole proprietor, if you're a business owner, you have employee, whatever, right? I look at it like this. I go, if I had a worker, like, I mean, for 200 or 300 bucks, I mean, I know they're not the prettiest, right? It's not the prettiest. I don't know what we're working with for vans here, if it's deck, if they're all decked out or they're kind of rough to begin with or what. But I just look at that and I go, dude, like, that's a drop in the bucket, right? I mean, you could pretty much a half a day pick up pop cans to pay for that thing. And so I look at it and I go, like if you want to buy it, go for it. Like, I mean, if I had somebody they want, like, I'd be like, dude, that's you all day. Like, go ahead. Or I'd just buy it. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I get it, man. Because, but the thing goes from head. Like, if you're good, like, you're gonna find a way, right? You're gonna find a way to help this person out. So you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But man, a couple $100, you get a trailer. Boom, man. You just slap them right down in there. Hopefully the van's got a hitch. I didn't have those details. Oh, I see Cousin Evan's got some stuff. Look here. All right, let's go back here. Get the number. Converted into flatbed. Another job. Evan's got another job. Looks like the torsion spring bracket is ripping out of the drywall. Ugh. That's pretty common. That's pretty common. I would say with that, cousin Evan, I'd make sure you bring a chunk of. See, I still like the treated. I mean, I have seen where the treated does eat some of the lag bolts, but I mean, I did see one get gnarled down pretty good. But I'd probably bring a piece of treated 2x6. I'd bring a 2x4, and I'd also probably bring a 2x6 untreated. Untreated is fine too, long as you just got a big surface area, right? You won't blow it apart. I like the treated. It normally don't split so much on you. It's more gummy. But you can always pre-drill if you want and all that kind of stuff. Be a good doobie. But anyways, I would bring, what would you guys say? Probably 4-inch. Bring some 4-inch screws, right? And then do the old Taparooski, or if you got a stud finder, I don't know how good they're going to work. They're always hit and miss for me. I never can find a really super duper good one. But if you can put a pad up there, then you got some adjustment. Because I've had it with drywall where it's like, even if you try to dig it out, it's like your bracket's too far in there. And you can do a lot of searching. But if you get a bigger pad, so I like to have options, or even, I mean, I like to have options. So I mean, I even like a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, but that's kind of bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like that bracket might come loose. Those things are not fun when those happen, especially if they happen and they're like a Chinese finger trap in there. Ooh, it's not good. It's not good. Did I glitch out? What happened? There we go. All right. Got another job. Been there, done that. Going through. I don't know which one to look at. I'm sorry. I'm all goofy here. Got another. Is it Tyler? Tyler says hi. Hi, Tyler. Thanks for being here. What you do for business? You work? You're an employee? Got a job tomorrow? This one's always glitchy. I gotta go down to this one. I can't look at the comments there. I need to have like side by side. Okay. Okay, Kevin, I'll send a message. So I have my contact. Oh, it's Tony God. Thanks, Kevin. I want to head that way for the car show. When is the car show again? I remember you guys were talking about it. I just didn't. Let's do this one, right? Like this. We'll just go like this, I guess. Bam. Good deal. Holy cow, there's all kinds of stuff here. Let me look. I'm trying. I feel like I'm stuck. That's kind of car show. Tony, unpacked door on top of van. Slide all the way to the end and set it on the ground. Middle grab. Okay, set it on your sawhorses. Definitely seems kind of risky. So I would assume, that the gentleman can probably get them like loaded at the shop with 2 people. I'd want a full deck up there. I mean, like a hardcore deck on my van, like so I can walk the whole surface without like blowing through it or on some crunchy metal. And then, I could see you can unpackage them and do 1 by 1 and set them down at an angle. But man, that just trailer. Never pull the panels when you are doing this. You will crease them. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you got to be really careful. That's what I'm saying. Like I look at that and I go, that's chump money. I just go, how do they even like not have damage? And I just no thanks. Like you better like here's a trailer. And probably now you know how it goes and they can't back up a trailer. No lives tonight. What's H20 got? Seems got some. What's SWG? What's going on? Let's see here. Cousin Evan would use 4-inch legs. Cousin Evan, I would use 4-inch legs for sure. Is it technical? Says hi. So like, I don't know if the ones are 4-inch. You know what I mean? I don't know if those are. I don't think I got a tape measure here. I just use 4-inch screws and I just pin her pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if those are 4-inch screws. The bigger legs that we carry. Oh man, this guy's. Let's go take a look, shall we? Let's go take a look for a second. We got a minute. I'm trying to see if the compressor's running anyways. Because, you know what I mean? But these, where are they? I don't think these are 4-inch. We got our smaller ones, our standard ones. And then you got the bigger ones, right? Small, big. These things are lifesavers. This does look like, hopefully I don't lose you through the Wi-Fi here. I leave a tape in here? Heck yeah. I always try to. You always got to keep tape on all your vehicles. Let's take a look skis, huh? I can't tell if those are 3. Yeah, those are about 3s. Those are 3. I didn't think these were 4, but I use I carry those, but I like to use the 4-inch screws. I use the big 4-inch screws. That way you get through the drywall. Hopefully hit a header or a stud back there. Isn't it great? Oh man, it's so much better when they got a full header back there. Oh, it's just like, but sometimes it's hit and miss, man. Real hit and miss. I wanted to check that thing one more time. Let me just turn it down here. Whoops. Messing everything up. Oh, and Cousin Evan, on that weather seal, I didn't realize it was Wayne Dalton. I can't remember if Wayne Dalton's got the wider tee, a little bit wider. It was gray, so it threw me. The picture wasn't the best, you know. Running. So, but like I said, I don't know if you can get the Wayne Dalton. Maybe where your vendor is, you can always get some Wayne Dalton bottom seal. All right, let's get back to this. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the likes. Holy cow, I got 80 guys. Like I said, if you guys got anything, questions, don't feel like that's what we're here for. There's a great community of people here. We all love helping each other, and we're all learning, we're all growing, we're all making that baby money. And ask questions. Are you using a different phone, Dave? The video looks more zoomed in. Yes, I am. I'm using my old Samsung. The reason I did is a lot of times I get gridlocked that I'm on my phone and I can't see, right? I can't see what's going on. This phone actually kind of stinks because I can't do my comments like I would normally looking at it. So I got to look down at the other phone here. So I apologize for that. I figured I would spin it up a little bit. Because I wanted to show those pictures. Now he's got my good stuff on my phone that I use all the time, right? It's Rusty. Rusty's in the house. What's up, Rusty? Last Thursday in September, big around here. About 2,500 cars. Wow. Wow. Nice. Got something. I can't read that. Where's the translate button? Is it big dude? I only eat corn the long way. Wow. Rich B's in the house. Rich, the mini's working. Dude, I'm telling you. The mini's working, and thanks, my brother. Thank you so much. It's addicting. I'm gonna be buying some more tools even, I think. Extra half makes all the difference. That's right, Rusty. That's for sure, man. Just never know, man. I like to carry all kinds of different shit. I carry like 3-inch. I think I carry like 2.5. I got the big old honkers for 4-inch. Because those spring pads, man, those are like, and they're like no joke, right? With the spring pads. And then plus the problem is like, right now the customer's focused. You're focused. Everybody's focused on this. Now this thing fails again. You know how you were out here like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it's coming back off the wall. So now you got to nail it, right? And then who knows what's back there, right? We've all had it, right? The 2x4 in there, right? You're just trying to hit that, and that 2x4 is already, it's all split, and you're like, fudge, what do I do? And then you like go to the other side, so make sure you bring a razor blade. I've done that before, right? Razor blade. Any other tricks? Bring a little magnet so you can feel if there's a nail or screw in there. I don't know. The knock. I got the knock down. I never was really good at the knock, but I can tell kind of now. But I even got a boss stitch. Nice I thought it was nice. I bought a nice Boss Stitch, stud finder. I don't know. I don't really trust it. It's hit and miss. It's like I like to use it for like another second or third opinion, basically. Oh, leg screws seem too hard to find in my area. With the heads, you can use the sockets. Interesting. Interesting. I can't remember. Evan, did you get your EIN and all that stuff? Let's say, can you get I can't remember why we're not dealing with Surface Spring yet. Um, I don't think there's any good options except the legs you buy at the store, and then you put a washer on them, which are always kind of wonky. Ooh, yes, Rich B's got one. He says hollow with a steel I-beam. Been there. That's like, oops a daisy. Now you're like in a world of hurt. It's like, what do I do? Do I try to anchor? It lasted 5 years with the last person they got away with it. Like, how do I just use better anchors? Like there's nothing there. Do I is it breathe? Breathe well? Well, I'm still sucking air. That's the only thing I can tell you, and I'm not 6 feet under yet. Alex says, brother, do you think the earth is flat? Sometimes. I haven't walked it, so I don't know. It definitely could be. Uh, why would somebody put that in there? I don't know. I don't know about that one. We're just gonna have to. That one I think's a little bit over the top. You know what I mean? Oh, Eric's here. What's up, Eric? I was just thinking about you. I was like, man, I haven't seen or heard from Eric in quite some time. I hope he's doing all right. It's probably because it's been pretty warm, and every time I turn that fan on, that Eric recommended, which is working like a charm, I'm always like, that little booger. I'm like, yep, he got me a good fan, one that actually lasts a decent amount of time, not the old Amazon fan that just would puke out in 2 weeks. So thanks, Eric. It's working good. Am I gonna start doing HVAC? I don't know about that, but I tell you what, there is an art to it. There is definitely an art. I think I would be scared to honestly do it. I'm with Rich B on this. Like the whole like it's kind of like the whole industry. Like I'm watching. Oh, he sent us. Actually, Rich was the one that sent us. What was it about the Nest right thermostat, and how if you hook it up to Wi-Fi and stuff like that, or do the rebate, it could like the old the GOV will come in and like they'll turn it down at nighttime or turn it up in the summertime. And I mean, I can only imagine. Like I'm already bummed that the old LiftMaster is coming out with cameras and everything. I can only imagine with the HVAC stuff. But it's just so glorious. There was a lot of things I didn't know. And now I feel pretty confident. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I'm an expert by any means, but I feel like I could at least I got the basics, right? I'm 1 year into the garage door business is how I feel again. Like I understand it. Do I feel like an expert? And I walk in like when I did when it was 5 years, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I got this. No, but I get the concept. David Lee? I don't know. Brahm has said hi. Show some pics. I'll show some pics. Let's see where we're at here. Whoops, I went to the wrong one. All right, let's see here. She cut out on me. Mm, some people, man, they're just I don't know. All right, let's do it. And I changed it up a little bit, right? Wifertron. I do like that it has readout. That's pretty nice. So the readout's nice. And look what I did, right? I got smarter. I couldn't find the other one, right? When you need it, right? When you really need it. Why is it doing this? Error codes, right? The old one. So bam. Just like with garage doors. I like garage door openers. I like everything to be right there. Right there. Everything's there. There's letters on there. We wrote on there. We did install date. Maybe we should do that. Do the new garage door openers? Does anybody know if the new garage door openers, do they tell you the dates on them still? The old ones used to, but do the new ones? Maybe we should be writing our dates on them when they're installed, like permanent marker on the top of them, where customer don't see them. But so this has got a date on the inside of this cover. They can't see. That's boom, right? Instructions. So that's beautiful. It's working great. I don't think I have any complaints about it, honestly. Everything went pretty good. Learned about the nitrogen. Might do nitrogen if I was to redo it, but it's up on a stand now, right? It's actually blowing right now. So that's feeling fantastic. Stand worked out good. You know what was weird though, Rich, was the stand didn't quite get us I thought maybe they'd be a little overkill on the on the distance. It's more like 11 and a half, which is fine, right? I mean, but it's we got our surge protector. Surge protector's on there now. I think they give you this tape. I had the wife try and put the tape on because I think the UV wrecks the hoses, so we ended up wrapping it in the tape. Yeah, could have done my hoses probably a little different and better. Yeah, but first timer. Brackets, got some new. Everything's all beautiful in there. Just a little drip line. It's nice to have now that we can access this, right? I think we were doing. I put a little brick on here just for. I want to be able to watch it drip. I don't know why. I'm just weird like that. But now we can access our spigot, right? So that's nice because this guy. Oh man! After I was thinking about it, I was literally eating lunch today. And I was thinking how bad it was for this thing to be sitting in here. Now that I know what I know, even though I cut out the back, right? But and it just got so abused. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Oh, that poor thing. And think about all the heat blowing. It was trying to blow heat out of there. Just so wasn't good. So feels great. Flowing good now. Plus, I think with the water, I figured out. I forgot I was doing silicone this. I figured the water splashing, right? Where am I at here? Oh, hand. Splashing, probably running against this isn't good. This still needs to be siliconed. I think I'm gonna go with a gutter. Hope I don't get ripped off. But I was thinking about a gutter because we get water that splashes right there and it comes in. We got a little spot right here that puddles. It's real annoying. Puddles in right there. So I think that'd be good. I thought about doing. I don't know if anybody's ever done it. I've seen it like on the. Oh, what do you call it? It's like in China or something, I think. But they end up they run like a chain. So I thought about the downspouts just doing like a chain, so they're all just free. You know what I mean? Like, or so maybe I can see it or something, just because I know leaves and crap are gonna get in there. But it's one of those things that probably took me about 2 days. Now, not full solid 10-hour days or something, but it was 4 hours here, it was 6 hours here, it was got to grab a part here. Eric said, I went to Menards yesterday to get some lumber, and I was loading the van. I saw they had piles of doors and door sections out there. Oh, were they like discounting them, getting rid of them or something? Interesting. Let's see what Eric's got here. He says, have you seen the new Chamberlain residential ops with plastic case And the button's on the side. I don't think so, Eric. If you come across pictures or whatever, maybe send them to me. I mean, I seen a line of them that are coming out in September, and from what I've heard, they're gonna be like, I'm not real impressed with the keypad. I'm not real impressed with the buttons. Um, I think they all have cameras on them, which that's not very entertaining to me. Let's see. Was it Jim? Jim, keep it clean. I have seen those yet, Eric. Those are the white learn button units. Oh. Oh, we got Smith in the house. What's up? How's it going? Right, the install date on top of new ones. Interesting. Interesting. That's what I didn't write it on the outside unit yet, but I feel like anything that comes into my life now, wash machine, anything, I'm always like, put the date on it, put the date on it, because even like with the old Mini, um, didn't know how old it was. You know what I mean? Exactly. And it was like we were trying to think back, and then we were thinking about when it got remodeled, and we were thinking about, it was just like, God, it'd be so much easier if there was just a date on the darn thing, just to know how many years we got out of it. And then, but I see Eric says you like to write the date on the top of the new ones, but does anybody know? Maybe it's still in the comments. I don't know if the new ones, I'm trying to think if we had one open out there. I don't think we do. I don't know if the new ones, I don't know if they put it in a code now. You know what I mean? How everything's like a serial code. Like you have to be a detective to figure it out. It's like they don't want you to know, right? It's like we don't want them to know. Don't put a date on there. Because then they look at it and go, it only lasted 3 years. I'll never use this manufacturer again. Ah, Rich gave me the looks good. Not too bad for a rookie, huh? I seen a new what was it? I got one for flaring, right? I think it's more for like brake lines. I've used it quite a bit for some propane and stuff like that. But they got that one flaring tool. It has a wobble to it. Ooh, oh, daddy wants. I told the wife, I was like, I'm probably gonna be spending some money. I want to get me some nitrogen. I want the pressurator. I want that, what's it called? A micron gauge. I got to get a scale maybe, just so I have it. And then if I buy the refrigerant at some point, I don't know, man. I'm like on a kick, but stuff can add up. So gotta, Christmas presents. Oh, 60 God and die for your sins. Until our sins and forgive salvation today. It's a good first Sunday. Can't complain. Thanks for putting that in the comments. This is a little. Oh. Ah. So Rich's guy says, if you pumped it down like I told you, he says, you'll be good without nitro. I thought it was kind of a good, they put the nitro in because they bring the pressure up to like about 200 psi, and then they let it sit. Right, that was one of it. And then this dude had some secret bubble sauce. Like it was really, really good stuff. And it was only like 8, $10. I even sent it to the wife. She's like, "We don't need that." She's like, "It's working." Just like, I know, but I want some. And so I just saw that was pretty cool. And I'm thinking like rentals, and I'm thinking like the future, and like just family and everybody itself, because my AC is just my AC. How? Hey, Rich, uh, what do you think about? Do you have any recommendations for furnace filters? And then what about the outside AC unit? How often should you clean that? Twice a year? Mine's got a few leaves in it, so I gotta clean it out. Do 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 do. What's up, Smith? I see. Oh, I got the white button. I sent you a picture. Oh, you sent me a picture, did you? Let's see here. Let's see here. Oof. 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 Ooh. Ooh my. What am I looking at, Eric? Oh my gosh. I don't know if this picture's just not wanting to show. Send QR code to program through MyQ. What is this hunk of junk that you sent me? Oh, make sure I've sent nothing to Eric there. What is this? What is this? And why is everything MyQ now? Like, why is everything got to be MyQ? It says send a QR code to program through MyQ. But then I guess there is a little LiftMaster thing right there. Right? What is this plastic housing? What is this? I think this might be worse than a genie. I'm trying to get the light here. What is this? Chamberlain user guide. You know, if they would have just kept the red covers, you know, the metal red covers that they used to have, I thought those things were so beautiful. I was like, I could just hang these just because of the covers, right? But now they got, it's plastic, right? I mean, like, come on, man. I mean, what is this thing? That's just as ugly as a genie. You know what I mean? I'd trust a genie over that. That thing is going to be a pile of poo-poo. Just plastic? Come on, man. Why doesn't I just don't understand why these companies don't like, I just don't get it. I would strive to be like, you know what I mean? I just don't know where we're going. I just don't get it. I just don't get why people aren't giving you options either. Rich says, I think they still date them. I hope so. I just feel like I've looked at a couple, and I never really, you know how it is. You install them, they're brand new, they work. You know what I mean? But I just feel like I've looked at some, and I'm like it doesn't show up like it normally does in my eye. You know. Oh, finished work. I bet was it toasty? Was it warm and humid today? Smith, I don't think Genie puts the date on their units, but I haven't looked. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I don't look. You install them, they work. You could go on your way. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Those trolls. uh, works just as good. The Dawn. I know, but his had like the little swab. If I find it, I'll send it. I'll send you. Want me to send you? I'll send you, Rich. I'll send you this dude. Like he was an old. He wasn't like super old, but he was this man. He seemed like he was like he knew his stuff. He had this cool little adapter, and I was like, dude, like I want that adapter. It was like a valve Schrader, a switcher outer. Like he could like put the Schrade valve in without like losing any gas. Basically, I was just like, dang, dude, this guy's got the stuff. Eric's guys looking at garbage. It's going to be interesting to see what they charge for these new openers. Because I'm assuming with a camera, they can't really drop the price. They got to be, you know, same price or more. And then it's like they almost got to like they're going, we got to save some money. We can't go too crazy because nobody will buy them. They're so expensive. So then we gotta go to a plastic case. You know what I mean? It'll be lighter. You know, and I can already hear the sales pitch at the IDA. You know what I mean? Where it's going to be, they're so much more ergonomical for your shoulders, and you know they're so much lighter, and yada yada yada. Is it Gubby? Gubby, we're doing good. Hope you're doing good as well. Rich Sky says, I believe the MyQ is trademarked. I feel like it reminds me, like, some of you guys probably don't, you're not real familiar. Like, it was always like, I always remember with, there was like Lanier, and then there was Osco. And the reason I remember Osco so well is because it was literally right down the road, like probably a 20-minute drive-ish. And you could literally go down there and pick up a commercial Osco commercial operator, or you could pick up a gate operator. And they were just little building. They had all these people, like kind of engineer people up in this weird, it had like a little weird ramp. I remember you go up to, very old school, like feels like the 50s, you know what I mean, kind of building. And then it was always like, you're always kind of like, I always dealt with multi-code so much that then there was like Lanier, and it was like, what is Lanier? Like Lanier was like the programming company. Then they like merged, and Lanier bought Osco, and it was like, you know, but they were like their own separate. So it's kind of like MyQ reminds me of, like, there's LiftMaster, which is like the hardware, and then you got MyQ, which is the software, and then it's like, it's almost like now MyQ's like, I don't know if they bought it, they're working as a security company. I have no clue, but Lanier went down the same path. It feels like they got just so, and then it turned to Nortec. It gets really confusing, gets really murky, and then it's like their product can turn into garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they're just pushing so much technology. Like, oh, look at this, and it's like, who gives a rat's hiney? It can't even like do its job anymore. Like, it can't open or close a garage door. It can't slide a gate back and forth. Like, it's just like, who cares? Like, it's just, it doesn't work. Like, I don't know. I'm a little bitter. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be that way on a Sunday. What's the name on it? Chamberlain. Yeah, steel's getting expensive. What's Rusty got? Chamberlain states that remote controls, keypads, and accessories in a new Security Plus 3.0 system will have a range of approximately 300 feet and battery life expectancy to last up to 3 years. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? I would love to believe that. But then it's like, I can't even believe their keypad, right? That keypad, that new keypad that came out that only lasts for like 3 days. I'm like, it's kind of like when they come out, like all this stuff is like it's like the Ford Lightning. It's like the Tesla, right? It's like the Tesla car. It's Cybertruck. It's like, it's all these promises that they never deliver on. That's the problem. You know what I mean? But I hope they do. That would be amazing. That was amazing, because I forget who I was talking to. I don't know if I was talking to Rusty. I was talking to somebody. And I was thinking, you know, this would be a great topic. Let me know if you have. Now, I guess in a nutshell, let's kind of clear this up a little bit, shall we? Some of you are probably not old enough. I'm having fun tonight. Some of you are probably not old enough, but do you remember when you were installing openers and you remember them randomly opening up because you were putting the curly Q light bulbs in them, or maybe you're putting an LED light bulb in them? It seemed like the curly cube ones would be the ones that would randomly make them open or would block the signal. And I was talking to one of you guys through text, and I realized that it was weird, but I was thinking to myself, I never went back to a Genie that had a light issue. I can't remember any Genies ever having a range problem. I can't remember any Genies randomly opening with light bulb issues. I can't remember any Genies having LED problems. So, like, that just kind of was like, when I was talking to this individual, and I just went, Went, man, I don't remember. I've never gone back to. I know I've gone to many, not like it's super a lot, but I've gone back to many LiftMasters, right? That would be. I remember one lady. She was in the Holland, Michigan, and I remember the secretary calling me, and she's like, "Hey, the this customer, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. I don't know if it was 2 weeks, but maybe a month, or 6 months. I don't remember. But anyway, she's like, you know how it is, right? You kind of macho, right? You fluff your feathers, right? She's like, you know that install you did in Holland? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, the door is randomly opening, and she needs somebody to come look at it. And you're like, how can this be? I installed it. There's no way it could be wrong, And so, I go down there and it's like I'm looking at it. I might have used the old light bulbs, right? And I remember one light bulb, I could tell the color difference, right? You know how those LEDs or the those condensant ones, whatever it was, the curly, that color looked right. One's more of a earth, one's more of that modern. And I'm like looking at it, and I was like, when did you change that light bulb? Well, about a week ago. So when did you start having the problem? It happened about a week ago. I said, yep. I said, it's that light bulb. So they can't use those light bulbs. And so I don't know if I don't think the store was close by, or maybe I had some Genie light bulbs, the ones that don't interfere or whatever. So I put some in there or whatever. But I remember I got there and she was just like, she's out, and she's like, she's a pretty sophisticated lady. She's in a nice subdivision. And she's like, I swear, she goes, she's got her remote, right? And she's holding it right in front of me. She goes, I swear my neighbor's got my program. And I'm just like sitting there going, that's probably not happening. They're the billion code, like they're always rotating and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it was a light bulb. But it was just weird to think about. And I went, man, I never went back to any Genies with that kind of problem, with them randomly opening or closing. So just something to think about. Have I gone back to dead circuit boards? Absolutely. Especially in the residential. Have I gone back to the red light of death? Absolutely. Have I gone back because of power? But typically something else will be out of the house. It's always something like TV, microwave. Absolutely. But any weird ghost? Can't think of none right off the top of my head like I have with the LiftMasters. The LiftMaster just cutting the photo eyes out. Like, why aren't the photo eyes on? It must be another improvement they didn't tell me about. Didn't get that memo. They're probably doing it for energy saving. Push the button. What the heck? You cross it, then it lights up. But then the thing works. It's like, then after I've been talking to some of you guys are like, that's not supposed to happen. And I'm like, oh, that's what was happening. And sometimes I would do that. It would never happen again. I don't know. But it's those things that keep you up at night where you're like, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? They go from the 8550, which is one of the best looking machines, to the 87504, which is ugliest operators I've ever seen. Yeah, that red machine, man. Those were man, when they had the red and the gray, I mean, they were just such beautiful looking color. I mean, they were just like, you install it and you're just like, that's sexy. I mean, it's just, what do you think, customer? You gave them the remote, you had confidence, you believed, you just like, they run it and you're just like, I'm going to go home tonight and tell my wife. It's just like, we're going to get one. We got to get one, Smith Scott, hello. Back you guys. Wait 35 years. Eric Scott, wait 35 years. Wax and 2x4 during remodel. Thing shatters. Ooh, actually, it will only last 9 months. Beeping at you and takes a shit. Yes. Yeah, like I said, we might do some, for the to try it out type of thing, but it's definitely, I'm not going to be, if I got any in my hands, I probably will not be the guinea pig. I will not do it far away. What do we got? We got 11 likes. Thank you guys for like too, hitting the like button. But I will not be the guinea pig. I will let everybody else be the guinea pig. Because whatever happened, I don't hear you guys. I don't know if Kevin's still on here. Kevin, has anybody, what's the maximum? What happened with the maximum? Is the maximum still even in production? Did they revamp it? Did they just kind of moonlight it or sunset it? I mean, did they, can you still buy the Max? I don't hear anybody talk about the Maximo anymore. Like, are they using it? Still loving it? Like, is it working good? They're a flop. They're great. No problems. Let me know because I just haven't heard nobody talk about them or seen pictures or text messages or anything. It's like everybody's got the J50s again. It's like J50s or the T50s or whatever, you know. I can remember genies that don't push the door. They don't push the door down. Man. I'm trying to think, is like that the old one with like was that like the old, like the yellow covers? They were green or yellow covers and they would like they hemorrhaged, like they were old. Because when I think of it as like a screwdriver, I go, oh, I never seen a screwdriver. Like they'll self-destruct before they'll ever never. I remember the ones though. Remember the ones that had like that weird funky gear in there? It was like a hex, weird. That's like what it rode on. I just remember those. I remember those things running with like hemorrhage. You know the old genies. I seen Andy commented on that one video about the genie, and he was saying that he assumes that that plastic piece will self-destruct over time, which I would agree, but I haven't seen one or done one. I don't know if there's any videos out there of somebody having one that's gone bad yet. So if anybody finds something, let me know. I'd love to see. I don't even know what the quite the procedure is to replace it for the inside on the newer Genie screwdrivers, because like you can't just like you're gonna have to like how do you like can you push on it hard enough and it'll like work the gear, or you got to put it like in a neutral, you got to split the rail. I don't know. Tony's got the Genie. Tony, I'm just curious, Tony, do you got a vendor for Genie if need be? Can you get Genies pretty easily? Was it Rich? How much were those, Rich? Those were they $230? They were or 266 or something. I can't remember, but they were like on sale at Home Depot. I was like, man, that's not bad. That was the screwdriver, the piece together rail, but I'm also just wondering if you've had any problems. Ooh, I see Rich just sent me something about Craftsman, 1 horsepower. Have to check it out later. Ooh, Genie. What's Rich got here? Rich's guy says, been to a few places like the small family places used to buy sheet metal from. I was like, the mafia says has mom in the back. Okay, shell cooking. Always had to have spaghetti dinner before I left. That's cool. That's cool, man. Huh. Ooh, Steven's guy says, I had to change out a Genie about 3 months ago due to range getting worse until it didn't work at all. Interesting. I wonder what model or any pictures or um, that's good. That's good. These are all good things. Like I said, hey man, like I said, I'm always just trying to find the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry basket. Like I said, I just Tony. Jenny's better. What's Eric got here? It says, my grandma had issue with her Genie Pro Max. When she got a CFL in there, she started having issues with the range, a home link in her minivan. Oh, this is good. This is good. So they do have the issues. See, I just didn't know. I don't know how long. I heard rumors. I don't know if this is true or not. I just heard rumors, and that's why I always thought when they made the Genie light bulb, I heard rumors that it was like it was the president or something from GE, the ones that make light bulbs, and that's why they came out with light bulbs. And then he's the president of Genie. I don't know if he still is, but that's why they came out with the light bulb. And I just always thought, well, maybe they had more technology where he's like, I know what the problem is. Like, this is what the signal emits. Like, we got to make sure we block it, or put this, or just put a piece of, tinfoil, man, the tinfoil hat, that'll save you. Put a piece of tinfoil right here. That'll keep it from going through and hurting it. Tony God, he says, I hope not. He says, I can't stand those maximum. Oh, we'll see. Yes, he says the 7055 belt drive, they're wussy openers. Well, if you think of it, Pop Tony, if you get a picture of it, even if it's like a Google screenshot or something, send it to me. I don't know what the 7055 belt, if that's like that old style. Rusty's got to pair new remotes. User must press and release remote button 6 times. Oh my gosh, within 4 seconds. Press and learn button. Press and release and remote button twice. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I see Rich sent me something on there. Yeah, I mean, I've been getting some videos. Actually from Texas. I've been getting some from him on how these things are programmed, and wow. I'm definitely not like, good job. I mean, it's just like, what are we getting into? Oh wow. So Kevin's guys, Mac is still going to release a new version with longer upper shafts and disconnect. So far, they've been a great opener. Seems like that's been a while. Kevin, do you remember? Do you know how long it's been since that? It seems like it's been a while, right? Like I like, this does not seem. It just seems like there's more behind the scenes than what they're telling us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, so put a longer shaft and put a disconnect, like, and here we are. I mean, like, hasn't it been like 6 months now or something? I mean, or 3 months? I don't remember. They're making any models. Kevin, are they making any models that are direct drive? Ooh, man, I don't understand why they don't make a direct drive. That's just so silly. Was it Marantech? I thought has one, but it'd be cool if one of the big guys made it. Genie or LiftMaster. Eric's guys says, I'm pretty sure the maximum is in production still. Think they were so widely hated, so they probably tried to stop pushing them on customers so they don't go bankrupt. I know it's just kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, I was hearing from a lot of you guys, which is good. You know what I mean? Like, I was hearing like, oh, have you done this? And I was just getting people that are messaging me, emailing me, text. And it was like, have you maximum this? And I'm just like, now it's like, hello, hello. No direct drive. Imagine that. Rusty says, so sad. I agree. I agree. I think there's something in there. You know what I mean? It's like they got something, right? It's kind of like it's like they're almost all fed from the GOV. So it's almost like they, you know, like overhead's got some like hardcore patent on it or something where they're like, don't any of you, we're the only ones that can get the direct drive commercial openers. Don't you guys even, What's he got? Tony says, yes, Uncle Dave. Lowe's, Home Depot. Buy Genie direct through Wayne Dalton. DC. Oh, it's all good. Steven's guy says, sorry, I don't remember. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out, kind of like as a group, and I'm kind of curious. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, what would be your opener? What do you think is going to be your next opener if because I know some of you guys really like the Chamberlain LiftMaster products, but if they just really go downhill bad enough, and I don't even know what your threshold is, maybe you can put in the comments, say, you know what, after, I'm getting, one callback a week or 2 or 5 or 10 callbacks a week, or I'm done. I'm done. And what's going to be your go-to? You know what I mean? You're going to go to, you're going to go to Genie, you're going to go to Lanier, you're going to go to Guardian, Morantac, I mean, what would be, I'm just kind of curious. You know what I mean? Change the subject, but wanted to take an 83-650. That's a chain driven operator and drum belt gear sprocket assembly. Do you guys think it will work when I put a belt rail on it? That's a good question. That's a good question. Might do a video, see if it'll work. Yes, do a video, Tony. Because I am kind of curious. That's why, like, this is kind of a good point to bring up for some of the guys, you know what I mean? And some of you guys have had really good success. You know what I mean? Like, you have no problems doing it. Like me, I'm a little bit more of I'm kind of more of a person that I'm like, if something's engineered, it's engineered. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to re-engineer it. I just want to bam, bam, thank you, Sam, and boogie out of here. You know what I mean? And like, everything's fresh. So like a lot of you guys will like switch out like you'll leave the rails and stuff like that. I've just never had the best luck with that, right? And ever since the one time I ever heard when I was doing a gate operator and we were changing, I think we were changing something. Oh, we were changing the chain. And the lady that's been doing it for years, she's one of the ones that's like created the Osco linear. She's been up through all the years, right? And I remember her saying, well, I'm going to also put a sprocket on there. And I was like, I just need the chain. She's like, well, you should really change the sprocket when you change the chain. And I'm like, yeah, right. I knew that. Duh. And so I've always been like, where I'd listen now. And you guys, if you ever pay attention now, like when you put a new opener, if it's a chain drive, and you hook up an old chain, you'll hear it popping. You can hear it. It sounds kind of loud. It normally goes away, sometimes pretty fairly quickly, sometimes not. But it's like that thing's got a memory. That chain's been stretched. It's not conducive with that new sprocket. So that was one of the things that always changed my mind. I said, you know what? I'm just changing it all. I'm changing it all. If it's got a tube, unless I have to, right? If it's a tube style and it's going to hit something, a rafter, then I leave it, whatever. But like I said, and then I found out like sometimes the adjuster, I've been there, right? You start like, you know how it is when it's super hot and you start sweating and you're like sitting there and you're like adjusting the chain. You're like, oh my gosh, is it going to make it? And you're watching the adjuster get bigger and bigger. It's like starting to bow out because it's just getting so big and you're like, come on. And it's like, finally it like, it's got enough where it's not, sagging and slapping and doing everything. And so I just don't mess with I'm just changing everything. I'll just change out the rail, I change out the pulley, I change it all. So I guess I'm just saying like just something to think about, right? Like and even though the old ones, got full chains, which are nicer, but who knows with the front sprocket, what condition that's in. There's just things you got to think about. Like I said, you do you, boo. I'm not telling you no. I'm just saying like the reason I do it is because then I know it's all engineered. Where I've tried cheating. I don't want to say cheating, but I've tried doing it and it's burned me. It's kind of like when you use like some of you seasoned vets know this. Um, how do you like you know how when you change a garage door and you're like, you know what, the track's looking good, like, and if you're not seasoned and you don't know what you're looking for, right? Like you'll get burned, right? Like you take out a 9000 series Wayne Dalton and the track is in. So then you start stacking the sections, right? And you're like, yeah, but do man, we're going so fast, we're gonna make all kinds of money. And all of a sudden you're like, like that second or third section goes in, you're like, what the? Why is this thing so tight? And you're like looking, you're like, well, you're like, oh no, the other door thickness is not the same. Oh no. Now what do we do? You know what I mean? It's not either, you know what I mean? The customer's coming out, oh, it's looking good. And there you are yanking the crap back up. What are you guys doing? You know, we were just we thought we could save time and cheat the system and now we're getting screwed. Or it's like some people like they won't change out the weather seal. Um, certain things like that. So I just don't even mess with it anyway. I just change it all. I'm just like, I'm here. I quoted it, whatever. I'm changing it. We're done. We're done. We're gonna change it all. Unless there's something where I go, nope, it's built in. I've had, the flags, right? The flags are behind another wall or something. It's like, no, we're not digging out the wall. Well, this will be fine. $244.99. Like, god darn 99 cents. One of the Genie screwdrivers with keypad and two remotes. Dude, I love a keypad and two remotes. Like, that's just my beauty. That's my beauty. Rusty said, I think it will, Tony. Run out to what does it say? That was a junk. His drunk pile. I'm thinking, Tony, don't drink. You. Oh, I'm gonna get a pick. All right. Eric says it's actually tinfoil, Dave. Crappy LEDs have proper shielding on the components, and they blast RF interference. That's what I've heard. So Eric, I think I can't disagree. I've heard with LEDs and stuff. I guess these ones aren't. These are old school, but they'll cheap out, and that's like you said, they bleed over. So if they're not supposedly, if you don't buy a higher quality LED or whatever, it doesn't have it, which I don't think they really say, like tell you specifically, like this one has RF, non-interference. It's like they all have some weird verbiage that it might interfere. It's kind of scary. Can you bring me on this live? Well, let's see if we can. Why not, right? Well, how do I do it? Oh, I'm over here. Ooh. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? I don't know, because I got... I don't know, because I'm on another phone, I think. I can start a poll. I can start a question and answer. But it does not seem like it. And I'm on my goofy phone. Maybe what we'll do is, if you want, what we'll do is we'll do one here. If you want PT, we'll maybe once I get through these comments, we'll jump. If you got your stuff fired up, we'll jump over to you. How about that? We'll get the pump primed. You let me know how it's looking. Let me go through here. What's this guy? It should Tony, new version available now. I think the Genie screwdrivers are direct drives. As far as I know, with the Genies, all you do is put a coupler, right? They used to have the coupler. But yeah, they're pretty much like the motors, like, I mean, I love the screwdrivers, man. They're like, it's like a drive shaft. I think you guys are missing out. Rusty, did you ever install those Maximum? Really Hot Dog posted video of Maximum with disconnect a week ago. Really? The child in the back seat. Tony says, I think you go to custom buy his own, and I'll install it for him. Sometimes I'm telling you, the way the world's kind of going. So I gotta, there, like I said, they still got some. There's some out in the container, but I'm telling you, man, I just think the box store is going to be the way to go eventually. Just yank that puppy, put it right back in the box. If it doesn't work in 2 weeks or whatever, just take it back, got the receipt. Hey, you got to watch it though. I've heard, like I said, I heard some weird rumor that Lowe's was like not doing the whole 90 days or whatever they do. Like there was something weird. I checked ours from online anyways. It didn't show that. It said, electronics still had a certain, but Lowe's was doing something goofy. So you got to watch this. The box stores don't want to deal with this crap. They're tightening up too. My options are limited. Probably will stick with the Chamberlain. The Chamberlain group Evan's got. Oh, Rusty, no Eric. We just stuck with MTT old school openers with no problems. Oh my gosh. Rich B's guy goes, Speed Queen needs to make an operator. Oh man. Oh man. Rich said it, man. That is amen. They sure do, man. Oh man, I'd buy those puppies in a heartbeat. Oh. I know, Eric, you need to make operators. That's right. You need to. Or I think you should just start refurbishing them. We'll just start sending your old ones. You go through, get your test, right? Isn't there some guy I seen on the interweb, like he's got like those what years? It's like the 2000 Chevys, and he like does the dash, and he'll put different backgrounds, and he tests them, and he resells them or something. We just need to have somewhere we can send our old openers, and they get tested properly, and then you can send them back to us. You know what I mean? Like we'll pay a small fee. They're fixed, just been refurbished, and then we get some good old school openers back. Okay, tomorrow night, Monday night, I will do starting 9:30 on belt gear, the chain 83650 Tony's Garage Door Service. Look me up, that's for sure. You're not subscribed to my channel. That's right, go check out Papa Tony. You didn't want to do it tonight? I could have jumped off. Gotta go tonight some point. LiftMaster says new openers are designed to automatically recalibrate and adjust force settings each time the door opens or closes, potentially preventing malfunction causes by changes in weather. Well, I'm so happy that Rusty brought that up. And here's the thing, like, I don't have a problem with LiftMaster. I feel like I never felt like there's a lot of malfunctions with the whole weather. Like they got cycled enough with the customers typically. Because I think it was, I don't know if anybody knows, what was it, like 3 or 10 cycles? And it was supposed to relearn, the as the weather changes type of thing. My problem has been, like I said, with the LiftMasters, has always been, it had light bulb issues. Door opening randomly, up and down, closing, whatever. I don't know what you call them, the wet contacts. Right now, you have to have, the wall button has to have a circuit board in there to make it. That got me one time. Oh, that got me bad. Right, customers already got 3 of them. The old school one. They already got the doorbell already on their placard. Right, it's all routed, placard. I hook up a new one. I can't. It's not dry contacts. I can't just touch 2 wires. I can't use a doorbell. That was a nightmare. So that got me. Then it was the photo eyes, right? The photo eyes would just randomly like go out, and the customers would call and be like, my door won't go down. And I'm like, what do you mean your door won't go down? Like, I go there. I don't know how I would do it. Like, I have to unplug it, I think. I plug it back in. The photo eyes would light back up, and I'm like, okay. Like, so do they go to sleep? Or am I missing something in the settings? That was always a weird one. I just always so many ghosts. For myself, that's why I just said, I'm good. Like, I'd rather just deal with a genie red light of death. Um, otherwise they just, I don't know, they just seem to work. I don't know. But like I said, is it wrong? Is it wrong for me to believe that I just don't have no confidence in Genie? Or I'm sorry, not Genie, but LiftMaster. Like they're just gonna like they're like it's like the like when the Ford Lightning came out, right? I watched the guy, the CEO up there, and we've already got 40,000 pre-orders. I'm just like, whoa, dude, like that thing's gonna be great. And they made it look like a truck, and I mean, it just was like, oh my, and it's like now they can't sell them, and like nobody drives them, and they can only like if you pull a trailer, you can only get like 80 miles. It's not realistic, and people got range anxiety. Like that's how I feel like LiftMasters. I'm like, you're feeding me crap. You know what I mean? Like the proof is in the pudding. Kind of like the whole setting. Like that sounds worse than Genie. I'd rather just push the remote twice. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just wish they would quit messing with things. This is great. They're tied into the Weather Channel. It's kind of weird because today, I sometimes on my phone I listen to a radio station that's up in Traverse City, Michigan, and they got two. They got the gold, so they play like, and it's really nice because they play very little commercials. So they got the old country, which I kind of like listen to sometimes, and then they kind of got the more modern, but they'll talk about more current events than even like our local radio stations will. And so all of a sudden today, though, I hear it start, brr, brr. I'm like, what in the, is this like, waiting for this is a national, or this is a test by the National Weather Service. If this was a real emergency, we would tell you to go find shelter. But this one was actually, they had a thunderstorm coming through and they were telling people, they were talking about hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. I was like, holy crap. So I was like, I had to jump on the weather to see what was going on. And it's just little pop-up showers over Lake Michigan, I guess. Rusty said, I also see that Blackstone owns Chamber. Oh, come on, dude. Are you serious? Are you serious? Come on, Rusty. Tell me you're joking here. Blackstone owns Chamberlain. Are you serious? Eric's guy, you gotta swap the chain sprocket, just like Sprocket, Tony, just like doing a gear kit. I think PT. I bet he'll be able to figure it out. If not, make sure you're gonna be there. Make sure you're on there to give him just get on him. Be in those comments, right? Go, you're not doing it right. You're supposed to pre-do the screws before you put it in, so you don't have to do it up in the opener. Evan's got it. They own everything and will be happy. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Tony, that lady tell you what was up with that electrical in the garage? Ooh, good question. Good question. I forgot about that. Probably not. She probably just called somebody. I'm assuming that lady was, I don't know. I don't know if she was a widow. I don't know if she was just single. She just had that vibe. So hopefully she's got a handyman in her back pocket. I don't know. Yep, Rich, they won't say it out loud, but I think the new technology is about data collecting, not opening and closing doors. Ooh, snap. That's a good one. I like that. That's good. I would agree. I would agree. Okay. Oh, Rusty's guy is kind of 100%. 100%, man. I think what's really sad, I feel like I have to state this. I feel like what's really sad that I honestly believe that, how do I say it? I honestly believe that your vote doesn't count. So if every one of you stop buying LiftMaster, I don't think they're going anywhere. Maybe they might change something eventually, but they got their hands so deep, right, in that GOV somewhere that they get like stimmy money, right? Uh they get some, like it's like the old Facebook and the tweet and the Instagrammy. It's just like, it's like one of those things, like unstoppable. So it's like they to me, this is just how I feel. That's my opinion, right? They gurgitate out some garbage, like, oh, we're guys, we're coming. You know what I mean? And it's like us blue collar people, right? That actually have to fight, that actually have to lay the roads, that actually have to, put food on the table, that actually have to work the nights and have to work the weekends and have to bust our asses, right, to keep the lights on, right? We are the ones that suffer, and that's what. Shh, blood pressure. That's the stuff that upsets me, because when you're out there and you're grinding and you're out there, and let's just, and that's like almost like, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like that blowback, right? You're like, I'm going to put in the 8, I'm going to put in the 10, I'm going to put in the 12, 14, 17 hours. And you're out there just grinding, right? And you're installing this stuff. And then this stuff is coming back to haunt you. That's what sucks, right? Because now when you're going out doing that service work, you're not making, that's costing you time, that's costing you money, that's costing experience and time with your family and your loved ones and your kids and your dying mother or dying father or grandparent. You know what I mean? Like, that's costing you, and these places don't care. And that's what drives me nuts. They're not changing for our benefit. They're not changing where I see improvements and go, wow, the quality is like, this is spot on, man. I mean, how could you not use these? You know what I mean? Like, they don't feel like the Speed Queen, right? I bought a Speed Queen. It's like $1,200, right? Who does that, right? But hey, I'm okay with spending money if I'm buying a quality product. So far, knock on wood, a couple of years in, ain't no problems, right? But the one that was a Lowe's special, or whatever, which we knew was a throwaway, what 4 or 5 years, now it's junk. I don't even know how these places are doing it. You know what I mean? Like when back in the day they used to build a brand. I don't understand how now, like, even with really idiot people, how people are not going like just the dumbed down ones. Not you guys. I'm talking about the dumb, like the average consumer is looking at something going, I'm not buying that. That's garbage. I will never ever. And that company is still like going. You know what I mean? Like, how do they keep going? It's like because they got so, like you said, they're finding ways to get from the GOV or something, and now they don't have to, they don't depend on you anymore, right? The blue collar, that real cash money, they depend on the Uncle Sam, right? They can't get off they got the teeth there. Then we'll give you this, and they give you this. You know what I mean? Option turned on prior to. Oh, I have to turn it on. Last live. I did the last live week. Oh, yes, he says, Mr. Rich B. She called me and let me know. And what was it? When I worked in box store, I remember doing returns on openers. That's pretty cool. That never got taken out of the box. Interesting. Rusty, Eric's guy says, do you ever show Dave the old Genie chain drive? You pulled the gearbox on those. It was so over-engineered. It's like a wash machine transmission from the old 70s Maytag. Wow. What's up, Smith? Eric, the green cover? Yes. I'm not being noticed. You're here. You're reading comments in order. Okay. I'm sorry. Dave says bought LiftMaster. Dave, it says Blackstone bought LiftMaster in 2021. Mm, that's a real shame. That's a shame. I really, I mean, uh, like I said, and here, I've told you guys before, you know, I'm not out. I'm just for a good product. That's all I'm for, right? I'm for the blue collared man. I'm for the working man. I'm for just a good quality product, something simple, and it just irritates the crap on me. Even they don't even give us options, right? They don't even treat us like adults. That's what really gets me, right? But they go, hey, we still make this one model. It's got the red cover on it, but it's $120 more. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I like that opener. That opener was simple. It worked good. I got options. No, no, it's like they just keep pushing it in your face, and they go, you're gonna like when the salesman. I do not like salespeople anymore. I really don't. Because I just look at them like, and I kind of look at them like cross-eyed. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm so over it. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, the proof is in the pudding. How long have you been doing it? Oh, I just got here. Been here 6 months. I'm like, you ever run a garage door business? No, no. I sold toilet paper. Oh, okay. Rusty, I think it might have been after the lawsuit. Yes, Eric, that's what I'm going to try to do. See what it does, see if it works. I don't know if the RPM sensor has a different speed. We'll see. Right. Eric says, I got to look this up. I know, man. It's like, no wonder it's gone downhill. And that's just, oh, let's go to Tony. He's got it on here. He says plug did different. So the plug did have a GFI. It was hidden by a bunch of junk. It says low will still cover. Come over tomorrow and ask that question. Was I not supposed to read that? The genie. Let's see what Rich has got here. Right. What's it going to show? Special buy. There it is. A beautiful sight to see. Right there. Just a genie. $244. Screw drive. Beautiful. 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 Just works. RPM sensor. And we're not. There you go. Rich P says we're not in the club. Isn't that the truth? In the heat, there's a lot of heat. Very humid lately. Evans says about day used to have freedom in one of our states. He says temporarily banning people from going into the woods to prevent forest fires. I did see that. I guess if anybody finds something like I just can't really. There was a lady, I might have sent it to Rich B. I can't remember. I was talking about how like they're doing this because I don't know if this is going down. I don't know if it's kind of part of that plan for the 15-minute cities like they're talking about. They're kind of how we're kind of doing the whole you will own nothing and you will be happy. I finally seen like this was the first time I've ever seen this, and I don't know why more people don't have this as a topic. So I had to screenshot it. I think I got it. Let's see here. Right here. Right here. property tax, right? Property tax, when did owning a home mean renting it from the government? Right? I think that's so true. I'm like, they're the biggest renters in the world. Like, I just like that is something that needs to be, and these are things that are kind of somewhat out of your control, like insurance, property taxes. Sorry, Tony. Oh. We'll still ask. It's still interesting. No more details. Um, forest fires. Come on, Rich. He says, me, the one that don't. Can't give all the info away on Dave's channel. I gotta come over to my channel tomorrow. That's right. Gotta go see. Better put it back in your Tony's garage door service. Papa Tony. Smith says, "Can I come, Tony?" Let Smith come. Everybody's welcome. What's the channel? It's right up here. It says Tony's garage door service. I go by Papa Tony. Just look for the purple. He got purple, man. He's a purple man. That's why grandson calls me anyways. That's cool. Oh no, I don't speak German. I wonder what Germany has. What's Germany have for garage doors? They got garage door opener. What do they use? Horman? Yesterday trying to sell me an AI receptionist. That would be pretty cool, cousin Evan. If I've been thinking about giving it a whirl just to see, right? I think it'd be kind of cool to see how it does. Because I think it's going to get better and better. And I think that's, we kind of already got it somewhere, right? Please press 1 for this. Please press 2. Or now they tell you, right, you call the box stores or whatever. They just say what you want or something, Should have see how much the price was, too. I'm just curious. I would have got some details. All right, Smith, that's great. At least I know I trumped Tony. So that's right, Tony, I was first. This guy's a cool. It's always weird, like when you're on lives. I don't even know how you get into lives. I know like you get notified and you're on a live, but like you ever scroll, like when you're like I'm scrolling through the comments right now, so you accidentally. But this old boy, if you want some good old stuff, man, it's from some old timers. This dude's a cool dude, right? This dude's a smart dude. This is what's his Uncle Tony's garage. It's funny, he doesn't do garage doors. He did do a garage door opener, but I'm just saying, after me, you should go check him out. He's pretty cool. If he's still on, he's a cool dude. I respect him. I like him. Evans, a couple of states down there trying to get rid of property tax. I think Florida was one of them. I don't know if it's going to happen. What do you got up there? Is it like provincy tax over there, Evan? What do you got? Is it still property tax? What other kind of weird quirks do they have over there? For one, your prices of garage door openers are ridiculous. And what are you gonna do with that bottom seal? You gonna get that figured out? What was that for? That was a horrible picture, by the way. I was just like looking at him like, what in the heck? I thought it was one chunk of rubber, one weird groove. Let's says, what's his name guy here? Tony's got. I believe you're on the right track there, Dave. I hope so, man. I tell you. Ooh. I don't know. I think Tony's talking about you're talking about doing are you talking about doing are you gonna do a live tonight or do you want to do a live tonight? Do you want to I know you're talking about Monday. He might need to be in his pajamas by now. I don't know. You know what I mean? So Evan's asking. I think you can only do 2. Can you? It'd be cool if you do like 3 or 4. I think you gotta have that software. You gotta have the StreamYard or whatever. Sorry. It's called Blend Over and yeah, Bend Over. Yeah. Taxes rate. Ooh, sweet. Which guy here, Tony? Oops, I already messed it up. Tony's got a thumbs up and thanks. So I'm assuming that's what he's planning. I think, like I said, he's in his PJs. Oh, Smith, thank goodness. Still subscribed? Whew. Thank you. Thank you. Now at least I can, kind of get after Tony, a little bit. I got something on him a little bit. He's got that stinking Surewinder. He's always a notch above me, Surewinder, and then he's got what's that one thing called? The donkey stick or something like that. I think it's called something else for putting bottom seal on. But don't you worry, I still got the spring turner. Nobody's got a spring turner. I think the last person that said they had a spring turner sat in the corner. It's got a cool name. Very awesome. Oh, that's great. Tony, what are you gonna do? Comments are pretty light. Tony, you gonna do something tonight, or is it tomorrow? I think some people miss you. I think maybe Tony should do a live so I can harass him. Yeah, donkey is a donkey wing-ish or something like that. That's what Rich B's got. I know. Ooh, look at Evan. Evan's pushing. Tony, do a live tonight. Smith, how you can't leave? I should go as well. That's only Tony. You're gonna go over to Tony's? Tony needs some love, man. I think Tony, he's not responding right now. He's all like getting ready. He's like, combing the hair. He's all getting her all ready. What you guys got going this week? I don't know if Rusty's still on here. Well, who's got what? Rich, what are you seeing? Rich B. Evan, what do you got? What do you got lined up? Doors, bottom seal, broken springs. You got a lot of bad stuff going. Oh, Smith. Yeah. Do one together. Tony says we should do one together, like holding hands together. Like, just kidding. I should go live. Smith, maybe. Oh, maybe we go check out Smith. He's gonna go live. Let us know if you go. Tell us the time. Wish I had one. I hate doing seals. I know. Like I'm like, if the customer's standing there, I'm like, come here. You're just gonna stand there and look at me behind. Come on. I need some help. Yeah, I'm gonna still charge you the same, but come on. So he said, I think tomorrow we'll do one together, and I'll do the gear sprocket. The way you can kind of keep it going while I do the work. That's a good idea. I agree. I concur. Good idea. So far, broken spring, fix a spring bracket, change a bottom seal, and fix a top fixture. Nice. Nice. Interesting. I'm hoping I'm hoping cousin Evan gets a little bit this week. He'll be a little bit better of jobs because he's got like 3 jobs that were just not pretty. They were like, ooh, what's that one guy do? That Bubba ooh, Bubba ooh. Like it was nasty. I was just like, oh man, I was like, walk away. Just walk away from those jobs. They weren't good. They weren't good. Play by play. We're gonna have the playbacks. Ooh. Oh, we got Brandon. Brandon's hanging out in there. Broken spring on 11 by 10. Clopay door. Nice. Nice. Have some installs and service. A good mix. Nice. Nice. You guys, I think it was Texas sent me a picture. I don't know if it had details. I just didn't see it. But this dude had like, I guess they had to wear his mouth shut. It was a full view glass door. And it was a bigger door, man. I forget what it was. It was like 18 by 10 or something. It was a big full view glass. But anyway, suppose this guy he got hurt really bad. And so, oh man, just be careful. Be careful. And even for cousin Evan, you got to wash it. Mr. Caleb does it too. I noticed those winding bars. I mean, you guys put in the comments. I mean, like Papa Tony, Rich B. I mean, you seasoned guys, Rusty. I mean, like, you got to stay to the side of those things, man. Like I remember, I never even thought about it until I was talking to my vendor one time, and he goes, when you're pushing it up on it, whatever, if that thing slips, and it is. I mean, you think about it, at least if it comes down, hits the door, or hits the strut or something. Oh well, but that thing comes down, man, and it hits you just right. Think about that winding bar, how hard. I always thought about. I used to have one. I never wore it for garage. My uncle got it for me just because he was working at a place. It was a bump cap, but it had like a hard shell in it. It was like I think it was a John Deere one. He was working at the John Deere like dealership or something. And I always thought, man, that would be kind of a good, like just a little bit. It ain't quite a hard hat, but just enough to help block a little bit. But you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be those winding bars. And when you're young, you think you're invincible and you think nothing of it, but. Man, this dude, like, he looked in bad shape. Sweating my ass off. It's hot out here. Oh my gosh, dude. You got to get you got the mini splits, man. Get the mini split up. It is. It's super hot. That's the reason I'm probably I'd be sitting in the truck because it's just so humid. And I don't know what's going on. Like, I got like, it's like if I'm in the house for a while, I only got it set to 74. And it's like, it feels cold. Like I have to, I won't constantly. I get up like once or twice or something, maybe every other day. And it's like, I'm looking at the thermostat. I'm like, what the heck? Did it get reset? Because if it gets reset, it'll automatically go down to like 68, 69 or something like that. But I've had the kids done it once or twice, one of the older ones, right? Where they've, messed with it, right? When the cat's away, the mice will play. Anyways, they messed with it. It's almost like they put it down to 72. What's going on? It feels cold in here. And I don't know if it's just because it's when you're outside right now, it's just so humid. And then now when you're inside for a little bit, it takes a while. It doesn't happen right away because when you go in, it's like, oh, it's like you can breathe finally. And ever since we did the Wifetron on one of the kiddos, ended up helping clean up, and they're like, it's cold in here. And I'm like, it feels great in here. I'm like, it's been so hot in here because that one AC unit wouldn't keep up. It took the edge off, but it ain't like this bad boy, man. This has got the Hemi, and I think it's working a lot more efficient than the other one. Maybe because it's new, maybe because it's not in a box anymore. So this one, we might be able to turn this into a freeze box. We might be able to process some deer in here or something. You know what I mean? Like, and just leave them. Put a hook up in the ceiling. Heck yeah. 81 here. It must have cost a fortune. Did I miss something? Justin, 2 estimates on commercial route. Set of pusher springs on Resi and a couple chain drives. Typical Monday. Nice. So what's up with the pushers? Set of pushers springs on a Resi. You got my attention. Um, why would you have to put pushers unless they got like a commercial operator on a Resi? Please comment. Smith will keep him in mind. Thanks, Smith. What's the locks box? I am so confused. I am so in the other world here. I'm not going live yet, but I will let you know, Dave. Let me know. Oh, 81. That must have cost. Were you talking about because it cost a fortune because it was in the box? Or are you talking about lockbox? I am so confused, Rich. For the T-stat? You talking about for the heat pump? It's kind of weird. So Justin's guy says keep throwing cables, jack shaft motors. What kind of jack shafts though? You're like giving me little clues. I must know more. Are we talking like a LiftMaster, like a Resi jack shaft, or are we talking like a real jack shaft, like a J50 or something? Like why would that be on a residential? Is that like somebody's barn or something? Like I can see maybe that, but okay. So Tony says keep your ladder off to the side, stay out of the way of the winding bars. Okay, I just want to make sure, like I'm not overlooking something. I mean, if it's, oh no, it's safer. You can just, get your in there. But I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, I never thought about it until somebody told me, and I was just like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, these are just this is the just for men Halloween edition, so that's why I got these grays. But I was telling Mr. Caleb the other day, I told him, I said, I don't know if I could quite hold myself up for very long, if I had to from a ceiling. You know what I mean? I said, I've got a few extra pounds and, I said, but when I was, a young man, and of course, he had to rub it in, right? He's like, I'm really sure I could. And I'm like, I know you could. Like, I'm just telling you, though, this is why people wear safety harnesses, because I said, what are you going to do, though, if you get knocked out? He's like, well, that's what could happen. So it's sometimes there is a time and a place to have safety in mind. Because I used to think the same thing, and it's like when you're young, you're invincible, and you got to be as you get older, you get smarter. That's if you make it to be older. Oh no, the John Deere cap. Yeah, he was working in one of their plants, and it was just a tan. It said John Deere, and they had like a insert in it, you know, and they just got them. They got them free because they were working there. They were doing I don't know if they're what they were doing there, some kind of construction. Mm, Justin did the lift the horizontal track in the back. That's a good question. 89's LM. Commercial job. My stake there. Okay, so there's 10 by 12s. Standard lift. Probably couldn't lift the horizontals. Maybe, I don't know if Justin would know. Could you have put a trolley opener on this job? I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe you're going back after another technician or something, but could you put a trolley? Springs like on the door, Justin. What's the springs like on the door? Turns. Usually always lift the horizontals minimum 3 inches. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Make sure the right springs on the door or it's balance. All right, so this is where I gotta. So this is where I gotta be like, like so with and I encourage Pop Tony to throw some stuff in here, but correct me if I'm wrong. One thing that's always kind of thrown me, like it's kind of like I kind of go, it's common sense to have the right garage door spring, but I always think about it in my head and I go, what does the spring really have to do with anything, right? Because in my mind I go, you got a jack shaft, you're dumping the spring, right? Like let's imagine there's no spring up there at all, right? The door's just up in the up position, the shaft's all hooked up, everything, right? You turn the shaft, the door, but if the door doesn't fall, right, it doesn't matter on the spring. I know Papa Tony's like sitting there going, "That's not what I mean." I know there's more to this, but I'm just saying I'm trying to tell like the newer guys and stuff like that. And this is where I'm always like, and I'd like to see if Justin, he says on here, it looks like he says tight. So maybe he couldn't fit, a trolley. But that's where that genie, what did we say it was? Inch and a half. That genie screw drive would be a perfect candidate for this bad boy. All you need is an inch and a half. Might even be less. Might be an inch and a quarter. But I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't have to mess with, you know what I mean? Like, I don't trust. Like, I'd really consider about possibly yanking those openers and putting a trolley on it if possible. I don't know. Well, maybe Rich B would. What would you think about one of those side mounts? I got a video out there. I did a side mount, the best side mount garage door opener ever, and it's got that weird J. But that's a big door, man. That's a big door. So I don't know if that thing lugging on the side there, and what kind of opener is going to deal with that force. I think about like an I rail. I think about the Genie screw drive. Maybe not though. It's got a plastic. It's got a plastic trolley. What would be strong enough for that? Oof. I don't know. Maybe the I drive. Maybe an I rail. A LiftMaster with an I rail, an ATS. But I mean, you're buying time. You're buying time. And then what do you do for pushers? Are you going to use the short pushers? Or are you going to use long pushers? I always like the long pushers. I thought they were more soft. And they're a little bit more flexible. Like you can kind of do half stroke if you want. Where the small pushers, they're just so tight, so hard to push that a residential jack shaft. Oh man, it's going to scream. It's going to freak out. It's going to. Oof. Let's see. Tight. Try that. Just when you left the door up by hand, foot does it fall to the floor? 27-inch pushers with 15 inches of push is what I order. Typically, yeah, that sounds about right. On the maximum, no, it stays up. That's what Justin's got. So on the maximums, there's guys that like them. I think Kevin's one of them. He likes them. They're, you know, I'm kind of 50-50. You know what I mean? I know we have our competition installed some at our regular customer. They did an addition, so that's why we didn't get the job as sort of builder. And they've had nothing but problems. Like they're like trying to push it to they're out of warranty, I think, or something. There's something goofy going on. Julio Scott Ayers. Hello from Brazil. He says the country taxed by Trump. Fire. Oh man. What is this? Is it ATL? I don't know what ATL is. So I don't know, Justin. Have you messed with the maximums? Do you like them or thoughts or anything? But I mean, you're probably going to be okay. You'll probably get away with the pusher springs. I just remember the what was it, the 8900 I did, um, back in the day, man. When I just finally got rid of that thing. I put up a Genie screwdriver, and it was never got a call back. Um, the pusher springs just make me nervous. They're kind of noisy. How much do you put on them? Is it enough? Um, you know, it's like you got this nervousness to it where it's like you're like you got to oil everything down really, really good, and um, I don't know. Oh, hamburger helper. I hope so. I haven't had no hamburger helper. Actually, I had some real hamburgers tonight. You ever get the ones from Sam's? Get them from Sam's Club. They're already frozen patties. They're delicious. They're probably not good for you. They're probably something. They're probably like aliens all chopped up, but they're really good. They're really good on the grill. Well, Justin, appreciate being here. Like I said, this is great. If you got anything else, let us know. I mean, this is good stuff. Um, so Justin's guys installed a few of the maximums. I mean, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? I mean, like them, don't like them, you're okay. I just know, like I said, on that opener, man, if I had the option, if I could squeeze a trolley in there, I'd probably do it all day long. I haven't heard anybody jump tables in a long time. I don't know if it's because they got the more sensitive in them. I was watching a video the other day again about the Genie jack shaft, the residential one, and I just can't really get like I'm like they're like yeah he's like the only one drawback is it makes this like noise, and I was kind of watching it and I was like that's horrible. I was like I don't like how it does that. It's in there, cha, 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 cha. Then it does, and I'm just like I guess I'm like that's the best they could do. Like I don't know. I definitely sitting there going like thinking I think LiftMaster's got the upper hand on the jack shaft openers for that part because I like the genies are small and stuff like that, but that chattering that just does not entertain me. It does not look good. I do not like it at all. Oh, Uncle Tony's garage was off now. Dang. Back to the 10 by 12 door when it's all the way open. Manually put it down. You really have to hang on it to pull it down, or does it just come down like normal? I think they are fast and sleek looking model, says, but have installed enough of them to really have troubleshooting opinion to be continued. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ooh. Sub pump burgers from Jewel. It says that's a Chicago area store. Nice. Have to keep that in mind if I get down there. Have to get me some. I don't remember if these were always the ones. There was a guy, I was always kind of like the firewood guy. We had like the firewood guy. There was like the food guy. There was like the drink guy when we used to go camping. And I always remember this one guy, but he worked at Myers too. So I don't know if he got them from Myers. But anyways, they were frozen patties, and man, they were just, you know how it is when you're camping. Everything tastes better. Like it's like really weird. Like I take my kids, and they're just like, Dad, this tastes so good. And I'm always like, I never know the psychology behind it. I'm always like, is it just taste better because you're like really hungry, and it's over a fire, and it's like what we have to eat, or is it just because of the fire itself makes it? Because I'm like, we got a smoker, or grill, or whatever. I'm thinking, and those taste good too. But it's just like, it's funny how when you're sitting around through the, oh man, this is so good, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, normally it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think bacon and eggs and stuff when you're up at deer camp and all that stuff's good stuff too. But I just never know. You know what I mean? Then I've had some stuff that's kind of burnt and it's not the best, but you're dealing with, a flame that's not sometimes really controllable, or you're, you got the wind. The wind is always fun when you're trying to get coals. So it's weird. It's weird. One of those things I'll probably never know. I think they gotten better since they got rid of the tension switch. Maybe so. Maybe so. I kind of agree. You know, I kind of diss them a little bit, but I'd be more, willing to try them. Normal coming down to might add a couple quarter turns. What worries me is the motor 8900 starts to turn. Accessories that are hooked up. That's what Kevin's guy says. Nothing to troubleshoot. He says circuit board, gearbox, and motor. Smallest failures are probably going to be accessories that are hooked up. Like that slide lock. Had that fail. Bent a roller. That was fun. It's always the accessories. It's like gate operators. Gate operators have the same. Tony says, when I was in Texas, we did a lot jack shaft openers. Jack shaft openers, and when we would have cables coming off, we would raise the track and take a little tension off the springs. See, and I never know if that's like counterintuitive because, well, I guess, I mean, what PT's got there is probably not. That's probably right. That's probably not going to hurt anything, right? But I think about, I go, if you take some tension off, but then if you put pusher springs, I'm thinking like now when the door comes up, the door doesn't have that spring to help push a little bit too. And now the opener's working hard, and then the opener freaks out. See, and I don't trust those openers enough to know the settings on them. Maybe somebody in the comments can put, can you like increase, like, I'm thinking like the old school ones where you could turn a knob, right? Turn a knob on a trolley and increase the force settings. Where it's like this new ones, like they're always monitoring, and that scares me. That when they hit those bump stops, they're going to go, I'm hitting something, stop. And then it's going to freak out. And then, like I said, I've never been where I've been so proven to myself, where I've always like, when I always hear the concept to like, I get it. Like, I get it. Take some spring tension off. But in my mind, I always go, what does that matter? You're turning the shaft. As long as the motor is, I mean, the motor's turning the shaft. It's turning it with a spring or not a spring on there. The cables are dumping, right? The cables are coming off. And if the door doesn't fall, which is obviously why like PT said you raise the track to try to make that thing like a roller coaster, right? So it wants to go. And that's one of the things I never really liked. I didn't like that variable. I've had it before where the conditions change, right? All of a sudden you're in there, you're working. Now it's like you went and detailed it. You come back in whatever, 3 weeks, a month, whatever, and now they're like, yeah, we're gonna start doing woodworking in here. And you're like, what? Woodworking? And yeah, and you're up there working, right? And you can just see all the dust in the air, and you're seeing wood chips flying, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, dude, it's gonna take one wood chip and some dust, and this door is gonna be just it ain't gonna want to go. And so that's why for me, I'm always like, hell no. I'm like, put a trolley on that thing. No jack shafts. That's the right way to always do everything, right? The only reason jack shaft openers were, in my opinion, ever invented was because they were for high lift garage door and full vertical garage door. So dock doors and basically, some high lift, and then they curl back. That's the only reason those were ever invented for, right? Because a J arm couldn't make that long swing. And I think, can't you put a J arm still on like 32 inch? Because like cousin Evan had that door, and I'm like, put a jack or put a trolley on that thing. And I'm like looking at it, it was all pieced together. And I'm like looking at it, I'm looking at where the roller is, and I'm thinking when it starts going up, it's already going back. So as long as it's going back, you're fine. The J arm will swingy and do its thing, right? It's only when they go up the wall straight, that roller's got to go up whatever, a foot, 2 foot. That ain't gonna work because it's trying to pull backwards, right? So that's why I've always just been a big fan of always, moving the door, not dumping the door. And then for me also, when I look at the price, right? What are we talking? Those things are like 200-300 bucks more. So I'm like, and I just don't come across. I mean, I get if you got a car lift in there or something. There should be a guy eventually coming down the pipeline, and I was trying to raise his track up maybe a little bit more, but I didn't really want to. The backing's already set. I'm like, so what are you gonna do with this door? I'm like, are you like gonna be? I see you got a car lift in here now, and he's like, I will never like ever have the car. He said the door up while car's up, and he doesn't. It's not a really good area. So I was like, oh, it's like I get that. So I was like, let's just stick with what's here. It's already got some high lift in it, but I could have made it go up. It seems like that's always the number one thing in my life would be like is what people are always like, can you get it so it's like a half an inch away from the ceiling? I want this thing up as high as it'll go because the forklift drivers or whatever. And it's always like, oh, it's like I'll try my best. Raise track, take tension. Number two. Kevin says if it's 12-inch radius, set up limit right at header, so the roller is pointing down in the track. This is good. This is good. Yeah, much higher roller push it into a radius track, then down. Yep, that's all good stuff. And depending on the situation, I've cheated. It's not. I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it, but I've had it where I've told the customer like, let's leave it down. The bottom panel a quarter in or something. I'm like, your situation's just not good. And if you ever really need to, you can always pull the disconnect. You can always push it up. But if it's a homeowner and it's just a one homeowner and they're smart, you know, then I don't have a problem. But it's like when it's at like a shop or a factory or something like that, or where they got employees, I'm like, this ain't good, man, because they, what I mean, like they're gonna, how tall is the garage door? What, 14? What's the fit? This is only like 13 thick. and they're just going to drive in without looking, blow out the whole thing. Tony, I think 4 in. They're working on a fan, though. He says, I do like programming from the floor. Yeah, that's why I kind of think like, oh man, he says, Justin's got 15-inch radius. That's sweet. 15. But if we would have went 12, could we fit a trolley? Ooh. Justin, does it have cable tensioners? That's a good question. No, I take them out. Housing assembly, clip sensor, show them. This is compartment, kind of rigged. I don't really like. I'm not a big fan of bottom. The cable savers. They always seem like they come off. I never trust them. I mean, I've even pulled them out and like pinched them, and it's like you got to make sure those things are pinched really good, and then it's like they rub on the side of the track. I've had them rub on the side of the track, and then they'll wear through, and then they break, and then this like you got this piece of metal sitting there looking right at you, or sometimes it goes down, I guess. But I have used them in a pinch. I mean, I get it. I get it. Hmm. There's, this is what is it? This is no. It needs to be flush with the track. I must have missed something on here too. No, he says I take them out the housing assembly or the clip sensor and shove them back in the back compartment. I think he's. What is he talking about here? Does it have the cable tensioners? I must be missing something. Maybe we'll see what they come up with. Whoa. Kevin's got, he says, a cable tension monitor. Is that because it's an older style? Is that why I still got it, right? That's probably what he's talking about, right? That cable, that switch. I don't think I got one. It's probably what he's saying, puts it in the battery compartment. It's kind of rigged. I don't know, honestly. I don't know about those cable tensioner switches. I never had luck with them. I just like I put them on, and then people yell at me and tell me I put them on the wrong way. And then I put them on a different way. I put them on the other side. It didn't matter. I just have issues, and the darn thing would throw cables. Boy, I don't know, Justin. You got. I don't think they are necessary. The cable. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Like I never did enough to really tell you. I just I did enough. I did enough of the jack shaft openers. I said I don't like these on residential. So I don't like the price. I don't like the outlets not being where I want them. I don't like the lights being like I got to figure out where to put this light if they don't wire it. Like I like it like a new build. Like they're already predicting this and they really want this. Sure, but for like our area, like we just run into so many, revamps or whatever. With the resis and stuff. It's like it's such a cumbersome like I gotta run an extension cord. Well, an extension cord, you guys ever had an extension cord come unplug? I have. You know what I mean? So it's like another. It's what do you do? Electrical tape it together. uh, you know, the grandma and the wife, and you know, it's now the outlet's down there, and the kid unplugs it, and then now does it glitch out, you know, when it's unplugged. You know, it just, I don't know, you know. Is it Damon? Says, what do you think, the Maximus? There's guys in here that are better on it. Like I said, I haven't touched one because I don't like being the guinea pig, and it's a 50-50. I hear some guys say that, you know, Papa Tony was saying they're nice to program from the floor. I've heard they gotten rid of them for a while. They're supposed to be coming back out with a longer shaft and a disconnect of some sort. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't hear about them really anymore. Um, oh, what's going on here? We're losing power, it says. It dimmed out. We'll hook up some power here if we can. Let's see what was it? The garage door geek jumped in here. Hope you're doing well. Might have to run out to the old car there because this adapter is not the right adapter for this old phone. So we're at 5%. Maybe we'll just go with that. And it might go fast. So if it goes, it goes. It's been fun. They worked, you know, a couple headaches. I'm glad they're gone. Last year did a freeze, went to house edition in 20. The cable tension monitors in wrong place. It's never shutting off. That senses. Hiccup in the door. Install a cable tension monitor, probably will be solved. Flush with the door or the track. Says, yeah, I put 10 of them up. 2 of them had bad motherboards. Ooh, also a damn red. Green pull cords are always tangled up. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good to hear. Other ones with tensioner switch, you have to watch the cable travels across. Doesn't fall off. Yep, had that little plastic thing there that supposedly clip off the sensor. Let me hit the need. Cold, hot, doesn't matter. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really just try to, ever since Rich B introduced me to the side mount ones, you know, I think that was a pretty good option. I'm not saying it's an option for everything, but it's an idea. And like I said, I'm not a big jack chef. We don't do a lot of them. For one, it's price. For two, it's just kind of inconvenient, in my opinion. No, I talked about that. The IDA certified. I don't think the IDA is certified. I'm not trying to bash on IDA. I think my switch is going bad here. It's not clicking on like it should anymore. I don't think that really does anything for you, honestly, the IDA. Hopefully I don't lose you. We'll see. I might have to run. You might have to sit here for a second. We'll see if we can get power to this. If we shut off, we shut off. I appreciate all the likes and all that good stuff. Hope you guys have a great Monday. All that good stuff. I'm trying to do it because 5% on an old phone, that could be dangerous, if you know what I mean. I know. this old charger. But are you IDA certified? You let me know. Or do you thinking you want to be IDA certified, and would you or consider, or what do you think it's going to do for you? Holy moly, can't find the thing. It's like you learn the rhythms of things when you're... There we go. I might have to run and grab the other one so I can make sure we still got internet connection. Oh, that's why I was using another one. Eric, way to go, someone. This is not going to show me. I apologize. This is not going to show me the comments because this phone is weird. Stand by. I'll be back. We got the comments. I see it. Yeah, it says the fire rated steel will be the only good certificate. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that. I can see that. But like Rich B's guy here says that's the Better Business Bureau. Gosh, Geese guy says certified office isn't interested in it. It's kind of weird because I just had this. I don't know if this is even going to be turned into a customer or not, but I don't know like what you guys do or what's your opinion. Like, what's your opinion on the whole you know, like Facebook's kind of weird. Like, you ever notice like Facebook's weird? Like, people are very like inconsiderate. People aren't like real nice. They don't like they don't like say thank you afterwards or have a nice day or anything. Typically, it's always just kind of like they just like, you know, something is this available? And it's like, yeah, and it's like ghost. Like, okay, thanks. I was just interested, or like I might want to come see it in a couple days. Like, very just poof, just kind of like it's like makes you wonder. Like, you're like, is this the world we live in? But anyway, I found one that was on the interweb, and it was over by Mr. Caleb's area. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna like test the waters here. So it was interesting. They said they had they got a price. I think it was they thought it was a little bit steep. They had a broken spring. They had somebody price it for $1,800, and they said we think that's a little bit on the high side. So of course, you know, there's already people, and you know, I put in there. I was like, I've been playing around with them a little bit. So I was like, I said something about like, hey, let me we could take a look at it. You know, I said that does seem a little bit on the steep side. Blah blah. Anyways, this lady came through. Right, she direct messaged me. I'm always programmed for like, oh my gosh, I need it now. So I'm like, hey, we could probably get somebody out there, you know, yet today if you need to. And it turned into well, how about Monday? Now this was like, I think this was on a Friday or Thursday. And I'm like, am I, you know, I'm like, whoa, like a Monday? Like 3-4 days from now? Like, you know, like, wow. Like, oh yeah, like that's nothing, man. Like, you can make that happen. So I said, could you send me some pictures, right? So they sent me some pictures that seemed a little bit like maybe like when the house was for sale or something. I don't know. They weren't really the best. And so I'm like, I said, well, so then we're good for Monday. And I just kind of felt like this might be a scam or something going on. So I just kind of said, well, how do you plan on paying? And they said, probably cash. And I said, okay, cash is simple. Cash is good. But then it was like, so it's supposed to be this coming tomorrow. And now it came back on, she notified ahead of time, which is fine. But it was like on a Saturday or whatever, I think it was, maybe Friday. But it said something about like, well, can we do it for the 18th? I'm like, the 18th? I'm like, is that like another Monday? So I had looked at the calendar and I'm like, yeah, oh, I got to work. Like, who goes that long without getting their stuff fixed? I'm like, okay. So I don't know if this is like a mother's. I don't know. I'm just confused. 20 years I never showed. But anyways, oh, what my point was for the certificate is she did ask, this was kind of the first one of the, and that's what kind of, I said, are you insured? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, we're insured. Like, I'm like, but then it's like I was telling Mr. Kale about it, and I said, what would be interesting to see if she actually asked for validation. You know what I mean? Like, can I see it? Because I've heard of this. Now I'm sure there could be somebody in the comments, and if I don't get it, even send it to me afterwards, even if it's tomorrow or tonight. But I've heard my uncle tell me about this, and I don't know if I'm saying this quite correctly the way he told me, but he was telling me one time. He says, Dave, he says, you got to watch these guys for like trees that cut trees down, tree service. He says they will get insurance for the day. He says not for the week or the month, like they get it for the day. I don't know how they do that. Like I don't know how that's even possible. If that's true, maybe I heard, or for just a week. But he said you got to watch the dates on them because he was having a really tree that was really close. So this guy, he was shady a little bit, and so he caught some of the money, started cutting, then he was going to come back, and then he got it on the ground. But I'm like, I'm thinking that's pretty crazy. Like I don't think insurance companies really do that, but maybe they do. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there will do it, right? Take your money. I was LA insurance. That's always kind of one that's around here. It's a little bit, seems like it might be sketchy. So Damien's guy says, yeah, he says, I thought about it's only like $200. The thing is though, it doesn't do nothing. It's not like it gets you like, it's not like it's going to get you in the magazine, which really cares. Who cares if the magazine goes across the nation? Are you going to drive across the nation? You're going to jump state to state to do garage doors? Probably not. I've never had anybody, there's nothing that ever, well, the reason, like I've gotten more from my vendors, right? That like you can get, like if you sell enough of their product, you can, normally got to sell, like it could be whatever, it could be $100,000, and then you can be on their website, like you can be part of it. So if they contact like Wayne Dalton or something, let's just say, the number they'll actually be directed to you. So we've gotten a few that way before, but nothing ever through IDA, nothing's a Better Business Bureau, like nothing. It's always either like Google, it's word of mouth, it's stickers, it's, you know, um, I don't know, but it's just like those things are nothing. The Wild West. Oh, so Rich says, he says you can get insurance for one job. It's a participation trophy. Bingo. That's a good way to put it. It is. That is very true. Yeah, so I don't think I would. I don't think I'd waste. I think is. I'm assuming, isn't it? Because I had the plaque at one time, right? I bought it. I bought the IDA stuff, right? I bought the IDA, and then I had the plaque, and then they send you a little sticker thing, the nice little engraved, and you put 2006, and here's 2007 and 2008. I think it's more of a. It's kind of like it's like a trophy, like and then if you ever get where you're like super big, and then you can be part of like where like they're you can be in the magazine where they'll like I'm talking like big, like we're talking I don't know how some of those companies are, but they're over $1 million in sales, and so, I mean they might be 1.5, might be 2. They're pretty big, I mean that because I know one of our competitions is over in Michigan, over here, and they like I'll look for them, Like I'll look for to see if where they rank or something, and they've been a part of it for a long time. But I mean, they got like, what do they got? Probably it's anywhere between 5 and 8 locations, and they got X amount of employees. 3 to 4 to 6 depending on the location. Um, so but does it? When you got money to burn, go for it. If you're a small fish just starting out, I wouldn't even, put that money towards something else. Put it towards Google, put it towards tools, employee, truck. I mean, you know what I mean? A pat on the back. That's right. That's right. There's so many things out there. It's something I probably, I should bring up because I always mentioned this before, but there really is a lot of stuff, and like I said, um, Rich has got the shirt winder. Yeah, it's a pat in the back. I got you. So, yeah, there's so many things like, when I was younger, getting in the business, right? Tony's in here. Did I hear shirt winder? Oh my gosh. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, like, you know, uh, am I wrong? Am I wrong with kind of saying this? Isn't there something in your life, right? Like, I mean, maybe you thought, if you get the, uh, yeah, when you're younger and stuff, right? Like, if you think about, like, you get that car, like, if I get that car, man, the girls are gonna, da, 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 da. And maybe that's not even the case, right? Maybe it just, you basically had to get the cojones, right, to walk up, right, the nerve, or to bump into them, or whatever the case may be, buy a drink, whatever, take to dinner, right? All this stuff is always typically like it's just hard work. That's all it is. It's just hard work. It's whoever gets up, it's kind of the early bird who does the grind, who's smart, who does the research, who watches the numbers, who's going, all right, I'm getting, return on investment here. You know what I mean? I'm putting signs out, I'm putting bandit signs, I'm doing Google ads, I'm doing Yelp or whatever, and I'm getting good returns. I'm getting emails, I'm doing email flyers, I'm doing email blast, I'm doing door hangers. I hired a salesperson. I'm doing a radio ad. I'm doing, there's just so many different layers to this stuff where I think we get too, even myself, I did the IDA thinking, oh my gosh, like they're going to my customers are going to, I'm so much more. And what always kind of got me was I just thought, well, this is kind of bullcrap because, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, they didn't vet me. You know what I mean? They didn't make somebody come out like, can you do this? Or can you do that? Do you know how to, scratch your armpits? And yeah, yeah, yeah. They didn't do any of that. It was just like, here you go. Like, you spent the money. Here's a magazine and here's a placard. And yeah, you're a part of the club. Thanks for sending us your money. And it's kind of reminded me of like what was that one? The Bass Sports Shop or something like that, right? That used to be like the magazine you send in or something in it, and they get like they get their magazine, and you get maybe get a hat once in a while or something. I don't even know if you got that, but something like that. So I don't really. It's kind of like if you think where you just go, oh man, like if I get signed up with LiftMaster or if I get signed up with Genie, like everybody knows, like everybody in town's gonna be calling me because they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're the LiftMaster god. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we got to use you. And there's like 20 or 50 other people that use it, or you can go to the box store and basically buy the same thing, or it's like buying a 2x4. Could you imagine, like, you don't buy 2x4s like that, you're like, this one place, they just, you might do a restaurant or something, they got good food, but you don't do like a 2x4 or a screw, right? It's like that screw you can buy GDKs or whatever they are, right, from Home Depot, Lowe's, Menard. What I mean? It's the same screw. It's just who marks it up a certain price and who has it in stock. And um, oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Tony's got the Surewinder. I love it. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I've kept you long enough. Thank you guys so much for being here. Definitely check out Papa Tony tomorrow. Tony's Garage Door Service. He's in the comments right now if you need to take a screenshot. I think he's shooting for around 9:30 or so. Come check it out. Like I said, we'll have some fun over there. We'll see what we can do with a chain drive to a belt drive or whatever kind of creation he's going to do. And cups of coffee and dozens of donuts. Oh, I'll be more impressed by someone walking up holding 2 cups of coffee and a dozen don't. Absolutely, absolutely. That did get my attention that one time with our old sales lady. I told her jokingly, when I was dealing a lot with Wayne Dalton, I didn't realize how the system worked. Right, the secretary worked really hard there, really hard. And I said, "You don't get no commission? No, your salesperson does." "Who's my salesperson?" And they told me the salesperson, and I jokingly or something. I think she was in the office right there too. And I said, "Well, you tell my salesperson I want a cookie." And I don't know, it was like a week later or something. Stop by, brought a cookie. Kind of funny, but I just thought it was kind of weird. I thought they don't get commission, but this person does. I never even met this person. I never even dealt with this person. And obviously, when I started knowing them and I started doing some bigger jobs, I started to get to know them, and I get a little better break here and there. But there's just so many things you don't know about until you're doing it, and you learn and you figure out how the system and the money and all that kind of stuff. So anywho, you guys have a good Monday. Thanks for being here on a Sunday. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, 20's Garage Door Service, and we'll go from there. Remember, keep your fingers, be safe. Watch those winding bars, not over the head, off to the side. Nobody needs to get hurt, killed, jaw wired up, anything like that. That would suck. You guys have a great night. Thanks, Rich Beef, for the mini split. At least the knowledge. Thanks, Papa Tony, for the offer on the mini split. But I needed a bigger... Oh, lights are going out. I needed a bigger batter boy. I needed a 220. So I really appreciate that too. Otherwise I would have came down. But and don't forget, Papa Tony, keep it on the radar. If you get a good Invictador that you think's a good customer that don't mind us dancing around, it being weird and goofy and taking video, let me know. I'll swing down and we'll touch an Invictador, and see how it stacks up against a Rich B door. I know you guys got the Sherwine. You guys are all friends now, but hey, I'm the spring turner guy. Okay, somebody's got to be a little different. See you guys. Over and out. Take care. Have a good night.